If you look at our campaigns from today, not just on Facebook, but on pretty much everywhere, Google to Twitter, LinkedIn, our campaigns today versus 5 years ago, they're way simpler because we're letting the system through bid optimization figure out, who do we sub-target to, and then how much do we pay for that lead. We say seek conversions, seek engagement, seek leads, and you guys adjust for us. We just have to put content in the machine. So that's been the big shift. So we're not worried about frequency burnout. We're not doing frequency capping. We're not worrying about CTR declining. We're just putting more things in the machine and just allowing the machine to do the work for us. And I think that is a huge shift in what used to be manually. We had to keep loading more content every week, creative refresh. Oh, this ad burned out. Every week we've got to put more content in the machine. I just don't see that working anymore. I'd love to see what you think, Kevin, because we see this king of the hill effect where once we have a winner, not just in search, but even on Facebook, that winner will tend to stay on. And so we're constantly trying to unseat that winner, which is a greatest hits model, as opposed to every day we're just going to check the box and tweet 5 times and, social media post this many times. But the greatest hits model, I believe, has become even more effective because the more content there is, the more competition there is, the more CPCs are going up, the more the greatest hits become even more valuable. Do you see that too? Like these winners will win even bigger. That's why fake news is bigger. That's why you see certain influencers going from nothing to 20 million followers on TikTok instantly. It only happens because there's more people and because there's more content. So the greatest hits model is winning more than the publisher model increasingly.
Yeah, I mean, we see it as well. We obviously want to encourage clients to create and co-create new content all the time because you do want to eventually knock the king of the hill off and have a new king of the hill, right? If you can pull that off. But to your point, the algorithms are actually rewarding the king of the hill, even perhaps more than they should. So you're just stuck with it, right? So the algorithm may not give your next piece of creative an equal chance to win, right? And so your king of the hill evergreen content, even if in reality, had they started at the same place at the same time, you might have had another winner. The algos are starting to really prefer the large data set, right? That says this was king of the hill and it's still king of the hill. So I guess to some extent it's a bit of a disincentive to create the new content, but one does need to try the new content, especially if you're going to try a new audience, right? If you're going to try a new audience and you're not sure if that king of the hill message will resonate with the different audience, then that's a great opportunity to try something a little bit different, at least in our opinion.
Well, so you and I know from running really big PPC campaigns that we would force the algorithm on in terms of ad rotation, or we'd have single keyword ad groups scaled to the moon. And we do the same thing on Facebook where we just create a ton of campaigns. But now we find that if there's enough conversions, 50 conversions per ad set per week for a particular campaign, we can actually run untargeted, which is crazy. Now, unless you're in alcohol or tobacco or other sorts of areas where healthcare, or you're selling stuff to senior citizens where they have to be at least 65 or things like that, we find that for our biggest clients, we're not running any targeting at all. Does that sound crazy? Like with Rosetta Stone, right? The language company.
I saw Frank Kern do his inadvertent experiment in that same exact way, right? Where he was sort of shocked because he forgot to turn targeting on. And, Facebook basically took care of it for him, right? Figured it out.
Yeah.
And it still worked. Maybe not quite to the same level, but, for those of the sort of marketing mad scientists who are in there, either discovering things on purpose or by accident, it really is fascinating to sort of see how what works changes over time.